This is a filling in awareness type exercise. So you could either have a little walk around or just give everything a shake. And then stand how you would naturally or normally stand. Feel free to close your eyes if that helps you to feel into your body. And just take a few moments of your breaths to arrive in this position. So we're trying to let our body relax into its honest posture or honest stance. So not what we might know to be good posture or have been trained or told to be good posture, but how our body actually likes to carry itself in this given moment. And take your attention, your awareness, down into your legs and down into your feet. Start to just feel into the bones of your feet. Do you feel you have more weight on one leg than the other? And then feel down just into your right foot. Do you have more weight in the heel? Do you have more weight in the toes? And then do you have more weight on the inside? More weight on the outside of the foot? Can you feel your big toe joint or knuckle on the ground? Can you feel your little toe joint or knuckle on the ground? Can you feel your heel on the ground? These 3 points form a tripod. Ideally, we'd like it to be as wide as possible at the front. So big toe, little toe joint. But maybe it's narrow for you and you feel it more on the second toe. And then have a sense of your arch on that right foot. Does it feel lifted or down towards the ground, more flat, more collapsed? And if you have no awareness of it, that's fine too. And then we feel down into the left foot. Again, do you have more weight in the heel, more weight in the toes? Do you carry more weight on the inside or the outside of that left foot? Can you feel the tripod? Or where is your tripod? Is it big toe, little toe joint? Or is it narrow? Can you feel your heel down? And then pay attention to your arch again. Is it lifted? Does it feel collapsed? How much space is there between your foot or the arch of the foot and the floor? Then compare it to the right foot. Which arch feels more lifted? Or which arch feels more down on the floor? And if you think of the 2 tripods, of the 6 points, 2 in the heels, 2 in the inside of the foot, ideally by the big toes, and then 2 outside of the foot, ideally by the little toes. Where are the main pressure points in these 6 points or 2 tripods? If you're not sure where your weight pressures are, then you can switch it around and think, are there any areas that I don't feel contact, like gaps, empty spaces? And then just feel a little bit into your ankles, see if you get an awareness of your ankle bones. And then up the shins into the knees. Imagine you've got a light at the front of each knee. Do you feel those two lights are pointing straight forwards? Or maybe one is pointing in, one might be pointing out. Where are they pointing? And then we travel further up the body, the same with our hip bones here at the front of the pelvis. Imagine two lights. They're pointing straight forwards, a little bit to the right or a little bit to the left. Or maybe just one is pointing to the side. And if you're not sure, you can't feel it just yet, don't worry. That's why we do it. So it's an awareness exercise, and it also gives you really good information. And then travel a little bit further up the spine and think of your chest having two of these lights. Or you can think shoulders if that feels better. Again, are they pointing forwards or more to one side, more to the other? And then the last one, just think of your face. We can go with your nose. Do you feel like it's pointing straight to the front? Or a little bit to the right or a little bit to the left? And then feel into your arms. Do you feel one arm is hanging closer to the body than the other? Or one arm is further away from the body than the other? Maybe one arm is hanging lower than the other. The fingertips might be touching the leg further down. And then feel into the space from the bottom of your earlobes to the tops of your shoulders. Does it feel the same? Same amount of space between the right and the left? Or does your head feel like it might be tilted to one side? Does one side feel lighter, one side feel heavier or darker, or maybe colors? And then the same with the space between the bottom of the ribs and the top of the hips. You feel the space is equal left and right? Or does one feel shorter, closed? One feels maybe longer? Maybe you're not sure and haven't got awareness there yet. When we go down to the pelvis, does one of the hip bone feel higher up than the other? Or do you feel they're level? You can always use your hands as well. Find the hip bones and see if you feel like they're on one line, or one might be up or one might be down. Then imagine you're looking at your own body from the side. Do you feel your pelvis is stacked over your ankles? Or do you feel your hips are tipped a little bit in front? Or maybe behind, or your pelvis is sitting behind? And then the same with the rib cage. Do you feel like it's sitting right on top of your pelvis? Right on top of your ankles? While the ribs flare to the front and it's kind of lifted your chest a little bit forward and up. Maybe it's sunk back and feels like it sits behind you. And then the same with our head. You feel like your head is forwards or behind you. Does it sit right on top of your rib cage, right on top of the pelvis, right on top of your ankles? And again, it's just a start to get a bit of awareness into our body this way. So we've just felt into our structures, mainly pelvis, ribs and skull. And obviously what connects it is the spine in all three planes of motion. So this gives us really good indication of your body awareness, but also where things might be. So write down any observations. If there's any discomfort or pain, also note that down. And then just give everything a little shake and just have a little walk around your space. And that's it for the standing awareness exercise.